So, did Tamashi just make me buy the same figure? Well, yes and no. Yes, the S.H.Figuarts Chainsaw Man Denji release is essentially a retool of his Chainsaw Man counterpart with new head and arms, but no, Tamashi didn't make me buy anything. I bought it out of my own free will. But is it really worth picking up Denji when you have Chainsaw Man, or would it be a better option to go with Figma or even the Makes Pose model kit? Well, hopefully by the end of the video, you'll be able to make up your mind, but for now, let's take a closer look at the figure itself. S.H.Figuarts Chainsaw Man Denji was released on the 23rd of February as a regular release and retails for about 6,000 yen or roughly $50 US, depending on where you pick it up and on the current currency conversion rate. You can still find Denji readily available at your favorite online retailers like AMIAMI, hobbylink Japan, and Big Bad Toy Store. All links will be in the description. So yes, this is for all intents and purposes the Chainsaw Man release with several retooling differences, some more obvious than others. Instead of the chainsaw arms, we get regular single joint arms and of course a brand new Denji head with 5 interchangeable faceplates and a new neck piece. But with that new neck piece, we also have a re-sculpted collar piece that better fits the thinner, powered down Denji neck. And by doing so, this whole chest piece here is new too. It doesn't look like it at first glance, but it is slightly smaller than the chest piece on the Chainsaw Man release. There's now a slot in the middle of the chest for your transformation ripcord, and even the front pocket is slightly smaller. Makes sense, right? Smaller neck means smaller collar, resculpted shirt. Great, but here is where the problem lies. The butterfly joints also appear to be reused from the Chainsaw Man, but the arms don't quite sit flush like they did with that figure, causing some misalignments and some pretty noticeable gaps. I'm not too sure if they're using new arms because they do look very similar, but the top of the shoulders just don't sit flat with the butterfly joints. Is it the end of the world? Probably not for some, maybe some for others. It is, however, something to take note of, especially when you have Denji in a neutral pose. Other than that, this figure is great. It retains all the lower half goodness from the original Chainsaw Man release, the extremely malleable crotch piece, right down to the shoes. The new arms, albeit being single jointed, looks and functions well enough, and the new Denji faceplates look pretty good too. We get a ton of expressions, including your smiles, battle ready grins, to your more iconic tongue out expressions as well. The hair is nice and sharp and the details are nice and clean. I don't have the Figma version to compare this to, which I hear is quite accurate to the anime, but I'm pretty satisfied with the expressions we get. I think you can have a ton of fun with these expressions, especially with the posing capabilities of the figure. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation, and if you have the Chainsaw Man figure, then you'll know what to expect, because basically this is the same figure in terms of engineering and articulation. The only differences are the arms and the head, but everything else is the same, which is great because the Chainsaw Man figure is a fantastic figure in terms of articulation, and so is this. So Denji does look up pretty well. I think he can go a little bit further, and he looks down pretty good as well. We have side to side rotation and left and right. Oops, there goes the head. It's going to take me a bit just to get that back into place. Bear with me, guys. There we go. And left and right head tilt as well. For his arms, they do come out about 90 degrees. And we do get fantastic butterfly joints. Denji can bring his arms all the way in. Rotation there at the shoulder. There is a bit of a swivel there at the shoulder. You can kind of see the joint there, but most of the movement you're going to get where the sleeve cuts and meets the arm. Single joint for the elbows, but you get a little bit past 90 degrees. Hinges, and of course your swivel there for the hands as well.
For the ab articulation or the torso articulation, it's a hard plastic there for the chest and a soft plastic there for the lower half of the shirt. It's not the greatest. In fact, it's pretty bad actually, and you're not going to get much range going back either. But because this lower half of the shirt is a soft plastic and the crotch piece is an even softer plastic, you get some really great crunch using both of those areas. And you do have a bit of the shirt showing up here just to hide the gap at the back, which is great. And let me open the curtain there for my cat because she wants to have a look outside. There you go. Go on. Sorry guys. There she goes. So like I was saying, not much range of movement going up at the upper half of the torso, but you do get some really good range with the lower half of the shirt and the crotch piece. So all those fantastic high knee in the chest, low crouch positions. Fantastic. It does look a little bit ugly at the back. Looks like Denji's kind of wearing a G-string, but I think that's a fair sacrifice for the amount of articulation that you do get. Going back to the waist, you do get a swivel there at the lower waist. For the legs, Denji does have a very good spread. Kicks forward and back extremely well, past 180. Double knees. There is a swivel there at the shoe. The feet go down. They go up really well. Toe hinges. And we do get some pretty good ankle tilt as well. And these parts here, the top half of the shoes, they are soft, so they're not going to get in the way. So all in all, some great articulation for Denji. Again, it does use the same engineering as Chainsaw Man, so that is to be expected. But yeah, if you had fun posing Chainsaw Man, you're going to have just as much fun posing Denji as well.
Other than the superb articulation, this is probably where the figure shines the most. We get a slew of accessories for Denji, as you would expect, as there really isn't too much going on with the figure itself, design-wise. But in addition to the 5 faceplates, we also get a Japanese nudie mag, his trusty axe, and of course an adorable little Pochita with its own faceplates as well. But first, the hands. We get 2 fists, a pair of open palm hands, a set of curled relax hands, a hand to hold said nudie magazine, because where would any adolescent male be without one? An essential for a good and healthy upbringing. A pair of weapon holding hands to hold his little axe, and I guess you could also use it to hold other weapons as well, like the weapons that power comes with. A pair of peace sign hands, a right hand to pull the transformation ripcord from his chest, and a pair of hands I don't really know what to call them, but I guess this is what he does in the anime. We also get 2 ties for your standard neutral poses, and an in-action windswept tie which actually fits firmer in place than the standard tie. Denji also needs his ripcord to transform, so that slots right into his chest like this. Last but definitely not least, we have the cutest little devil companion ever, Pochita, with 3 interchangeable faceplates. He's not articulated and stays in the sitting pose, but it is a great and necessary accessory for Denji. This is pretty much the same size as the Makes pose Pochita, so if you have that, then I guess you have some options. You have a Pochita for a sitting down pose, and you have a Pochita for a walking around pose, which is great. I think regardless of the shoulders, I still feel Denji is a worthwhile pickup if you don't have a powered down Denji and if you need one in your collection. As much as I enjoy the Makes Pose kit, which is a fantastic kit with a ton of options and has fantastic articulation, I think with all the accessories that we get with the S.H.Figuarts version and all the faceplates, you're probably going to get more posing options with this release. But for those who are thinking about the Figma, unfortunately I can't really help you out on that one. I've never owned the figure, nor do I feel the need to pick up one. Yes, the misaligned shoulders are a shame, but it is really only when you have Denji in a more vanilla pose that it becomes noticeable. It definitely sucks, but the highlight of this figure, and I guess for the whole line so far, has always been how dynamic you can pose the figures. Denji has definitely achieved that, and I'm really looking forward to Tamashii giving us some more Chainsaw Man characters past Makima. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. It would mean a lot to me if you hit that like button, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Until the next one, which will probably be Cell Saga Yamcha, have a good one, and as always...